Now, for those who have been following my channel for a while, you know that I put out a lot of content on roofs and roof repairs. And in this video, I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent to that. Now, I've got this little thought that's been incubating in my mind for a year or two now. And a couple of years ago, I had planned that I was going to talk about something called the rise of the blue-collar worker. Now, a couple of things have happened in the meantime. One, I came across this video by a dude in the States called Noah Kagan, and he made a video about a billionaire who actually worked for a living. It's quite a funny concept.
For 40 years.
Well, I started when I was 17.
And how much did you make your first year?
I made, $18,000 maybe, I don't know. I got a call when I was 18 years old, can you build a house for me? Yeah, but I'm 18 years old, so if that's a problem, let me know. In 6 weeks, me, my friend who was 17 years old, and my younger brother who was 14 years old on summer vacation, the three of us, you can't make this up. We built the house, and then when we were done, the guy next door comes over and says, can you build mine? And then we built his, and the guy on the other side comes over, can you build mine? And that's it. I was off to the races.
Anyway, it's quite an interesting video. And for those who want to go down that rabbit hole, you should go and Google Noah Kagan and when he meets this billionaire. Now, the other thing that came up was just the other day, I heard about this thing called generation toolbelt. And I'm thinking, what is this thing called generation toolbelt? Now, apparently in the States, there is a bit of a revolution by the Gen Z. Now, Gen Zs are the youngest population that's going to be coming into the workforce. And apparently there's a trend for Gen Z to go and put tool belts on and go into the trades rather than go into the traditional college education and then go on to become a lawyer, a scientist, a doctor, and all the so-called white-collar professions. So from that initial thought of the rise of the blue-collared worker and my journey from being a white-collar worker as a professional engineer and then migrating to a blue-collar worker as a roofer and then developing a roofing business out of the skills that I had picked up as a blue-collar worker working in a brand new roofing industry, this trend called the toolbelt generation was of particular interest. Now, if you've been keeping up with the news, you know that the construction industry is in dire straits. And I'm not talking about the building companies that are going broke because they can't make ends meet. I'm just talking about the challenge that Australia has of providing enough houses for the projected population in the next couple of decades coming up. And you can read articles like the building industry faces labour shortages due to a drop in apprentices. And in Australia, there is just not enough young people coming through the trades so that we've got people who can actually build Australia, build the homes that we all need in the few decades that are coming up. And not only just to put houses up, but to build it in the quality that we all deserve. Now, why do I believe that the toolbelt generation has the ability to be able to transform the building industry from one that is currently plagued by bad attitude, bad workmanship, and just pure lack of craftsmanship? Because I believe that if the younger generation do put up tool belts and they get trained properly, they will come from a better educated mindset where building quality for the future is of primary concern. And as a result, the quality will improve. And what I believe the toolbelt generation will give us is not currently what we have now, which are the dropouts from the school system who've got nothing else better to do than to work in the construction industry. What we'll have will be people who want to get trained up and who want to be professionals in a blue-collar job. And it is that professionalism that's lacking currently in the building industry. So what we really have to do is just raise the level of expectation that construction workers are not blue-collar workers. They are in fact professionals, and they are white-collar workers. And as a white-collar worker, there's more pride in their work, there's more craftsmanship, and as a result, quality will get better, and in the long term, all of us will benefit. So what am I trying to say here? Now, it's not totally clear to me the direction that I'm going in, but I'm thinking the rise of the blue-collar worker to a white-collar worker, the emergence of the toolbelt generation, and the fact that traditionally, before the Industrial Revolution, most people were artisans. They worked with their hands and they made things, and they took pride in the creations that they made. That is craftsmanship.
And these guys go into these very difficult environments every single day, and they make an incredibly, almost impossible job look easy. And we pay them very, very well.
What's the range of salary in someone?
These guys make over $100,000 a year because they earn it. It's hard to see this here, but he who works with his hands is a laborer. He who works with his hands and his head is a craftsman. He who works with his hands, his head, and his heart is an artist.
So at the end of the day, I don't think blue or white means anything. It is the ability to be interested in what you're doing, and in doing so, be really, really good at what you're doing. And if you become really good at what you're doing, you get rewarded. So for you young folks out there, don't think that going to uni and becoming a doctor, a lawyer, or a dentist, or any one of those white-collar professions will get you the better money and the better lifestyle. I'm sure you've seen a lot of tradies out there who have got good lifestyles. And I know in the many years that I've been in the roofing game, you can do really, really well as a so-called blue-collar worker. So blue or white, it doesn't really matter. It is the attitude, it's how you approach this whole thing about your career that will make the difference.
If someone says blue collar, how does that make you feel, or what do you think when you hear that?
For me, I've always been blue collar. I don't think of it that way. I don't think that white collar is any better. I mean, you could have a guy who's a billionaire, but if his foundation's messed up, who are you going to call now, buddy?
I don't even know, 200-300 grand a year.
Yeah, not bad. Did you personally go to uni?
I went to TAFE.
So you've got no degree on you?
No.
And what made you want to be a tradie in the first place?
School wasn't really for me, so left school and went into becoming a tradie.
You dropped out early?
Yeah, year 9.
Year 9?
Yeah,
wow.
End of year 9.
And why do you think a lot of people don't want to be tradies in this day and age?
Too hard, lazy, don't want to get dirty.
And personal question, how much could you say you're personally on per year from this line of work?
I think it's about 90, 95.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
How old are you?
22.
22?
Yeah.
And you're almost at 100K a year?
Yeah.
It's pretty good, man. How was being a tradie compared to, say, being an accountant like you were before?
Working as an accountant, I had a lot of stress. I find it a bit hard to sleep at night sometimes. But here, once I clock off and leave, I can't take my work home with me.
Now, what do you think your definition of success is in life?
Kind of happiness and finding that job that lets you have a social life as well, and after work life balance.
Yep.
So yeah.
And do you have any regrets in your life?
I wish I did this sooner. I'm 34 now. I wish I did it sooner because I'd be a hell of a lot better at 34 as a qualifier.
In terms of financially?
Yeah, financially, and also at my work as well, because 10 more years experience.
What advice would you give to those out there considering becoming a tradie?
Just do it.